Hi, this is Jennifer. I'm back with a process video. This is a let's see, challenge number 12 with Crafty Meggie and Ronnie Sue Scrapper. The challenge is to use something old from our stash, and I'll explain later what my old stuff is, but this is the striped paper from the Teresa Collins We Are Family collection. And I'm also using this one, which is Dreamy, Heidi Swapp paper, and this one. And it is Teresa Collins, and I believe it's also We Are Family. This is what I'm using from my stash, and it's super old. I got it from a friend of mine. It is cork. It's a sheet of cork, and it's really thin. And my original intent was to use it on maybe a back to school page or something to make it look like a bulletin board. But I have plenty of sheets of it, and I've never used it. It just sits in my stash, so I decided I wanted to pull it out and just use it somehow, and I didn't know how. But what I decided to do is I cut it down to a 5-inch strip and then cut it into a banner. So this is a 4x6 photo that my daughter took of an ornament on our Christmas tree. And the colors ended up being a little weird because when I printed it off I was out of ink, but I thought it still looked cool. So I was never going to put it on a layout, but just at the last minute the colors seemed to work and I ended up throwing it on here. Now I used liquid glue to stick this photo onto the cork because I didn't know if regular adhesive would stick very well. So I later ended up changing it because it didn't want to dry. I cut strips of paper into 3-inch strips and 2-inch strips, and I'm going to make them into additional banners. So I have the big one in the middle going to the right. Then I take this paper which has the alphabet on it and I face it up. Then I cut a second one, and this one has the stripes, and it's also a 3-inch banner like the one up above. And then I take these papers, which the reverse of the blue is the brown, so it's the same paper. I've just flipped it over and used the other side, and they're both 2-inch. So I slide one underneath on the bottom and one on top. And then I take this one, which was just going to be a scrap, but I felt like it needed more, so I used the red side with the butterflies and put it there at the top. Then I'm going to cut this in half, and I wanted, I've kind of started to form clusters here, so there's going to be this cluster at the top and then the one at the bottom, and I'll add half to both. I originally wanted to use it as one piece, but when I got looking at the layout, I didn't know where I would put it that it would look good as a full circle. Originally I thought maybe tucking it under the photo, but I didn't like that, so I moved it down below. And there's a journaling spot that I found. And I decided to put the date 2014. My parents gave us this ornament, and we've had it for several years. And I don't know how it survived my kids. Many other ornaments have gone to the ornament graveyard, but this one has survived, and so I just wanted to document that we did still have it in 2014. Who knows how many more years it'll last. But my kids are old enough now, they don't mess with the tree as much. I found some tiny banners, and this says, "Oh so pretty." My daughter has an eye for taking a good photo, and she was just messing around one day and took this, so I just wanted to put on there. And that is my title, "Oh So Pretty." These tags, I decided to go ahead and place them in my clusters. Oh, no, I gotta stick everything down first. I forgot about that. So, yeah, I was just placing things on there. Nothing had been stuck down, which is out of the ordinary for me. I normally just kind of stick it down as I go. But I put adhesive on half of this because I knew I'd be sticking the other banner, tucking it underneath. So only the left side of that banner has adhesive. And I'm keeping the middle banner there just so I can get a little bit of perspective of where it's going to be, so I don't put it too high or too low. And I tuck the butterfly one in underneath that one, and I want it higher. And then the last banner will be balanced in between. And I liked to have this craft color on here to help so the cork wasn't the only thing brown on the layout. Then I decided to go ahead and stick the banners down on the bottom, doing the same thing, just kind of measuring and checking where I want it to be. Then I stick this teal one down, and I want it a little higher. And originally I had this one off to the right, but I decided to bring it a little further to the left. Then I decided to stick this down with my hot glue gun. And let me tell you, I cannot use my hot glue gun without burning myself. But this was a first. I got through this entire layout without burning myself, so it was reason to celebrate. And I don't mean little burns, like I'll hurt myself. There I pulled the picture off, and you can see that the glue just was kind of soaking into the cork. It wasn't really sticking. So I did put hot glue on the photo and stuck it back on. And here I want to put the 2014 on, and just for spacing reasons I decided to start with my 4. I don't mind if my letters overlap onto the photo. I just didn't want them hanging off the end of the banner. So I start with my 4, and I don't know if it's my OCD or what, but I cannot handle all the little webs from hot glue gun. They drive me crazy. So you'll see me swiping at the page a lot. It looks like I'm swiping at nothing, but I cut a lot of that out when I did my editing because it was driving me crazy. And I'm scrapbooking without Mountain Dew now, which it's a challenge. I was going from 4 or 5 Mountain Dews a day to 0, and let me tell you, the headaches are a bummer, but it's been over a month now, and I think I'm doing pretty good. Who knew, though, that drinking Mountain Dew kept me from swearing? Seriously, my other goal was to stop swearing, but the first couple days after I stopped drinking Mountain Dew, I had a lot of road rage. Let's just put it that way. So there you go. Mountain Dew can keep you from swearing. Here I'm going through and I'm putting pop-up dots underneath each end of the banner because I want it to just poke up a little bit. It doesn't need to be a lot. But I do like the shadow effect that you get from the banners being off the page a little bit. And I really wish, towards the end, I stopped pulling the backs off of the pop-up dots. I really wish I would have started doing that sooner because, man, pulling every one of those off the back was driving me crazy. Once again, I think that's a Mountain Dew thing. No patience, I don't know. I ran out of my bigger pop dots. I actually have a whole bunch, but I try to use up the whole thing before I open another one just because I've run out of my big ones. I don't want to open a new package. But pop-up dots, that's something I'll probably never run out of. I have a lot. So I just continue sticking them down using the smaller ones. here I do my journaling, and I just talk about where we got this ornament and that we've had it for a long time, and I also tell that my daughter Courtney is the one who took the photo. I like to give her credit when she does this. I think she's an amazing photographer, and if she wants to, she could take this a long ways. So there, I stick that one down, and I did use hot glue on that one too. These ones I didn't use hot glue. I just decided I'd try my Tombow runner, and so far it seems to be sticking just fine. So I probably could have stuck everything down with it, but I didn't know. That one there says documented, and the other one says something wonderful. And here's where I stick the smaller banners on, and I put adhesive on the end of them and then stick pop-up dots under the pointy end of the of the banner. So I stick 2 underneath on the bottom, and then the third one I stick up on the top. These are little star sequins, and they are staticky. They were sticking. I thought I'd be really cool, you know, and just kind of sprinkle it on and put them down wherever they landed. Yeah, that didn't happen. They just wanted to stick to my fingers, almost like I was throwing them off a cliff. They didn't want to go. Like, no, 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 no. So I had to like shake them off my fingers, and then I had to move them around because they landed in weird places. I have issues, like serious control issues with letting things just happen on my scrapbook pages. So there I tried to be random, and I couldn't. So you'll see me moving them around. I can't just put them down where they land. So if there's too many in one area, I do remove some or move them to another spot. So I had an idea of I wanted them to go from the top left to the bottom right. Then I use my sticky tool and my liquid glue, and I just start sticking them down, but I'm not going to make you watch all of that. I will edit most of that out. I do a few here, and then I show a few at the end. But you get the idea. And I used to be afraid to use a lot of liquid glue. Now I just don't even care if a little bit squeezes through the hole in the middle of the sequin, because I want it to stay. I'm more afraid of them falling off. And those, see there, I didn't take the backing off. I just stuck them on and put it down. That way I don't have to worry about taking the backing off, and it's not going anywhere. It'll stay there. And I got just that little bit of lift that I wanted on the banner. And here are some close-ups. I appreciate you watching, and please watch Crafty Meggie and Ronnie Sue Scrapper, and enjoy. Thank you. Bye.